Hi, Diamond Girls. It's me, Adrienne Everheart. In today's video, I'm going to tell you that if you really want to level up your feminine energy, if you really want to step into your feminine energy, you must know these questions and be able to ask them of yourself and be able to ask your guy. I'm going to share them all with you in this video. This is a live stream video, so I apologize if there's any delay or lag or anything like that. As always, I'll take questions towards the end of the video from anyone who happens to have questions. But I really want to share with you these important feminine energy questions that most women don't know. They don't know how to ask. They don't know how to ask them of themselves. And they really get caught up in feminine energy. They get caught up in masculine energy where they're worried about an outcome or a man's potential. So let me start by saying the feminine energy questions I'm going to teach you in this video will radically change how you look at yourself and how you look at relationships. Now, as you know, I'm a feminine energy coach. I help women get married, engaged, get their ex back, really create that loving, fulfilling relationship they've always dreamed of. So some key points I want you to keep in mind during this video are my philosophies, which is philosophy number 1, which is lean back and let it unfold. This is my lean back and let it unfold philosophy. I'm going to teach you how that works in feminine energy and why you need it in your life today. The next one is going to be about an awareness of control. Masculine energy in a woman always appears as control instead of its healthier counterpart, which is boundaries and awareness. And speaking, your next one, which is core desires. Core desires, super important, as is alignment. And here's the big one. You must write this word down today, and that is potential. Now, at the end of this video, I'm going to share an additional couple of videos that will be that you can watch afterwards. They're also in the links below that are going to go deeper in how you find your feminine energy feelings, but also deeper into this one question I ask all of my clients. So I get a lot of powerful dynamite women as clients. They're wanting to figure out why the relationship with this one man is not working out, what they can do to fix it, how they can create a better life for themselves. And this one question changes everything when you really follow through with it. Now, hi, everyone in the chat. Please do feel free to ask your question in the chat, and I will be sure to get to it towards the end of this stream. But let's start moving with the first question that I get everyone to ask is this man really your dream guy? So often a woman comes to me with details of a man in her life who he's otherwise her dream guy. He has this energy, this charisma, his smell, their history. There are so many things about this man. He's really good in bed usually, and they would just make such a great couple if they could figure it out. But this question changes everything. The way he is right now, is he truly your dream guy? Now you might say, yes, I'm my dream guy, I have no doubt. But as he is right now, is he your dream guy? Now, I'm not getting you to ask yourself this question to talk yourself out of someone you love. This isn't about, do you love him? Do you want to be with him? This is about, is he your dream guy? So often I talk about the artist in my past life where I was just so head over heels in love with this guy. And it just seemed like I had all these big feelings and emotions for him. And everything he did felt so amazing and perfect. And like we just fit together so well. But he didn't really show up as my dream guy. And I would not, and I could not accept that. I stayed stuck in a mindset that he was my dream guy, despite the things he was doing and saying. Now, here's how it changes everything. Again, I'm not telling you this to talk you out of this man. In order to get back into your feminine energy, in order for you to feel that feminine energy, softness, vulnerability, and have that feminine energy vibe that you want to exude around men, you must be clear on whether or not a man is your dream guy. That changes your energy. So if you are emitting out an energy, a vibe from you that communicates to people, whether they're the guy he's 100 miles away, or you've never even met him, or you run into him often, you're emitting an energy of your vibe, your core desires that are inside of you. So you must know if this man is your dream guy. Here's how you ask this question. You put him in front of you and see him standing there and get real about the current situations. How often is he calling you? How often is he pursuing you? How often is he spending time with you? How often is he really there in your life and showing up in a way that feels good and wonderful to you? So you may find, such as I did with the artist, he would disappear for 2 weeks at a time. Sometimes we would go days without texting, and then other times he would text me every single day, multiple times a day. It was hot and cold, it was on and off. And I had relationships like this with a lot of men in my life, where that masculine part of me that wanted control, I wanted to have them as if they were a possession or an object. I wanted to have them as if I needed them for my survival, when in fact, I was in love with their potential. I wasn't absolutely head over heels with my dream guy. I was in love with the potential that they could have. Now, potential is a very complicated thing, but it's also very simple. You can see within someone their potential to be a great partner, loving, loyal, dedicated. The two of you look and would show up so wonderful together and complement each other in life. You can actually see that happening. And I sometimes refer to this as you can see God in that person. Whether you're religious or not, you can see a higher amount of energy or being in that person. You can fall in love with that potential. You can fall in love with the dream that this relationship could work out. So now we're in love with an illusion. Even though you see it as potential, you have to put that man in front of you and ask yourself, the way he's showing up right now, is this my dream guy? Is this how I want a partner to handle problems and conflicts? How do I want him to show up as an adult? And also, how do I want to show up? So when you get real with yourself about potential, core desires, and is this man truly my dream guy, your world radically changes, because now you have something I call diamond girl clarity. You know, I refer to all of you as diamond girls because I use the attributes of a diamond to define and help you understand and remind yourself of what it is you're seeking in a relationship and in life, and the qualities you want in yourself. And a big thing with a diamond is the clarity, the ability to truly see what is happening around with you, around in your life, and not fall for a feeling that you're having that might be disguised as a masculine energy control. Remember, that wounded part of us really wants to have and hold on to something, usually the something we can't get. So one of the reasons men like this drive us crazy and we want them so bad is that we can never really hold on to them. We can never really have them. But when we do, it's super intense. Part of the reasons it's so intense is because we never really get them 100%. So you see how this creates this cycle of pursuing a man, getting a little bit of love, a little bit of attention. Maybe you go on a great vacation together and it's amazing. But I go back to my can he pursue, provide, maintain. So maintaining is the big one you want to focus on. This is where you get your diamond girl clarity. You find out, am I in love with his potential? Am I in love with the dream of who he could be? Am I in love with the dream of the past, who we used to be? or as he is right now, he's flaking out on me. He's not calling. He's ignoring my text, or he's only around me as long as I don't mention commitment or moving the relationship forward. Is that really my dream? Is that what I waited my whole life to fall in love with and get married? So, Diamond Girls, if you really want a loving, long-lasting relationship with a man that leads to marriage or private ceremony, you must ask yourself this one question. Now, what about the answer? If your answer is no, he's actually not my dream guy. I'm crazy about him. I can tell I have a lot of emotions for this guy, but I can also tell he's not really my dream guy. He's not calling me. He's not pursuing me. He's not maintaining. When we communicate, it always ends in an argument. So what's wrong? I know I love this person, but I can also tell this ain't my dream guy. So boom, right there, when you can look at him in your mind's eye, when you can look at that man before you and say, you know what? The way you are, the way you show up right now, you're really not my dream guy. I want a partner that I can lovingly communicate with. I want to be with a man who wants to marry me. I want to be with a man who wants to hold my heart and love me until our final days together with no doubt. I want a man who, if things go bad or we're having a rough patch, that we always work to solve things together as a couple. I want a partner who wants to wrap me up in his arms every night and love me. So you begin to build that man that you want to have. That goes back to your feminine energy. That's the energy you're putting out around your body that people and men can feel, even if they are hundreds of miles away. This one thought process and question changes your vibe, and your vibe is a powerful yet invisible thing. So I'm going to leave you with one last thing. Someone in the chat just mentioned how they were vulnerable and walked away, and it is really terrifying sitting and realizing you're in love with potential, and she's now working through grief. So I want to touch on that before we go into Q&A, and I'll leave you with a few more thoughts to consider. The moment you get upset, the moment a relationship doesn't feel right, the moment things go wrong and you feel this feeling, it's so often a feeling of urgency. And that happens the moment your blood pressure goes up. And the moment that feeling happens, where either your wounded child feels an injury, you're sensing, you might even call yourself an anxious attachment style, but the moment you get that little hint, that little whisper of this is not right and I feel scared, you can no longer think clearly. Your ability to think clearly goes out the window, and you begin running on a different set of survival tools known as fight, flight, fawn, freeze, and the worst one, which is dorsal, or where you go into a completely frozen state. Now, more often I meet women who are like, well, I need to pursue him. I need to make this happen. I need to call him. I'm thinking of sending him this text and just clarifying how I felt about things. And I really encourage, before you do that, to calm your central nervous system down. Get back in touch with your powerful, beautiful, dynamite inner girl and find out, is this really in alignment with my core values? Part of grief is truly missing the dream of that person, the potential of that relationship, the life unlived. That's what the grief is about. And also, how dare they? How dare they walk away from lovely, beautiful, wonderful you? How dare they not choose you? It's an insult. It's a type of refusing your heart and letting you go. And it hurts like nothing else that you can see the potential of the relationship and this other person doesn't want to, even though they tell you they love you, even though they text you, even though they stay in touch with you once in a while. They don't see the same type of potential that you do. This is where you get in alignment with, is he truly your dream guy or not? So when you're aware that this is not my dream guy, I want a guy who knows for a fact with no doubts that we're going to be together. We're going to figure this out. We're going to work it out together as a couple. I want commitment. He wants commitment. We're going to make this happen. So now you're in a different category. Your self-esteem and your value has just shot up. And then that man can feel that in your energy. And one of two things will happen. And this is what I teach you in the ABCs to get him back. If you do not have this course of mine, make sure you get it. I'll put it in the link above and below. The ABCs to get him back teaches you about two things. When you change your vibe, when you change your energy, when you use the protocol and tools I teach you, a man will come back around and it will be different. It will be so different that more than about 60 to 70% of the women that I help get back together with their ex actually end up no longer wanting their ex because they realize this is not in alignment with what I really want. I was chasing something. I was chasing a feeling and a person and control, perhaps. Or the man comes back, your alignment's up here. He goes, wow, I better step it up. That happened with Jeff and I. I walked away from him. I said, I want to be a wife. 3 months later, he came back knocking on my door with a ring in his hand. So the man comes back around. He shows you what he can do. Or the man shows you what he cannot do. So you're either going to get him back, it's going to begin to work out, and you're going to begin to function as a healthy couple, or you're going to realize you've moved on from this guy. Or the man will not come back. He cannot come back. He's showing you what he can or cannot do. You've done your best. Now he's showing you what he does. He's showing you his best. And that's where you have to ask yourself, is that really my dream guy? Is that really what I want in a loving long lasting relationship? Someone just asked a question about long distance. So the key main points, my philosophy is lean back and let it unfold. So in this regard, when you lean back and let it unfold and you say, he's not calling me, he's not texting me, he's not showing up consistently, he's always giving me excuses. His problems aren't my problems. Lean back and let it unfold. Don't pursue that man in order to make things happen. You're taking control of his life. Mind your own business. Lean back, let it unfold, regain your power. When you regain your power, that instantly sends a signal to a man that I'm not pursuing you. I'm not doing the work for you. Pursued. They like that chase. They like the feeling of being chased and having a girl calling them up on the phone wanting to see them. This next part is about what are your core desires? If he's not your dream guy, why not? What is it that you really, really, truly want? So often women can't even admit to me that they do want to be a wife because they just assume that it's never going to happen. Go take a moment and look at my testimonials. The links are below. I have so many women in their 40s, 50s, 60s getting married because they decided I want to be a wife. And when you do that, your energy changes. Right now, if you haven't already, say it out loud. I want to be a wife one day. I don't want to be a forever girlfriend. I want to be a wife. I want to be married. I want to have a husband. I want to have a forever partner. And lastly, ladies, is this man truly, truly your dream guy? Or are you in love with his potential? Okay, so let's take a few questions. I hope that this has been really helpful for you all. These feminine energy questions will really help you align with your true divine, higher energy, feminine energy self. There is nothing better than Diamond Girl clarity. All right, I'm going to take a few questions. Akumi says, I was following this channel years ago and you popped up in my mind. I'm so glad I found you again. Your information's appreciated. And I'm trying to refresh my feminine energy. I'm so glad to have you here. And, YouTube really changed up how things appear on the screen. And so often you won't see my lives. You might just see my videos, or you might see like a short from years ago. So make sure you actually go to my channel and you can see what I've been up to. And also I have a private online coaching group. This group is amazing. I'm going to be teaching a spring feminine energy reset course in that group. And the group is great. Like if you have questions, you ask a question, I can answer it. My 4 other coaches can answer it. I teach every week. Sorry, not every week. I teach once a month. My other coaches teach every single week. So you can pop in, enjoy a live class, get support, get guidance on your feminine energy, and spend time with me and my coaches. All right, so glad I found your channel. Hoping to get some help for my relationship. I'm glad to have you back. Thank you, Monica, for that kindness. I appreciate it. This is really cute. I need a Jeffy pillow. My heart is shattered and I have to stick to my guns. I realized I thought he would do the work, but he's too stuck in his patterns. So first off, a Jeffy pillow is a wonderful thing. It is my Jeff when we were apart. It actually happened because I was so heartbroken and deep in grief when our relationship ended many years ago that I leaned over in bed and I felt this firmness and I thought it was his leg. And I was like, oh, this has all just been a bad dream. And it was my pillow. And I realized it was my pillow. And there was a moment where I felt very heartbroken. But then there was another moment where I was like, you know what? I'm going to call into this universe the man I want to be with. And he's right now in bed snuggling next to me. So I would hold on to that pillow and love that pillow and, hold on and snuggle up and feel that warmth for the man that was going to take the place of that pillow. Now, I will tell you, up until my house fire, I still had that pillow and I'm getting a replacement pillow because even now I got a husband, I still love that pillow. And yes, you're saying, Antoinette, you're saying he would do the work, but he's stuck in his patterns. And this can be complicated. Patterns can be complicated. There's a lot you can do with feminine energy, Antoinette. So again, I really recommend any of you come join my coaching group. It's very affordable. It's more affordable than coaching with me one-on-one. And you get myself and 4 additional coaches that I've trained. So join for a month, join for a year. See who you will become in a year. Plus, you'll be part of special classes that I only have in that group. Crystal says, oh, Crystal, look at that last name. Sounds like mine. I have the same issues. He wants to work it out, but not consistently and falls off. I suggested seeing a couples counseling and he won't. He wants to stay stuck in his patterns, I guess. Again, there are some things that you could probably be doing or saying that could, if you could give me an example. Okay, so she said he is very avoidant, attached, but I know he loves me. It's wonderful that he loves you. But again, is this your dream guy? Because my dream guy, I want more than just a guy who loves me. I want a guy who can, snuggle up in bed with me, who can talk about things. So Crystal, I want to use you, if you don't mind, put you in the hot seat here. I want you to just tell me a little bit about what's going on. And I'm going to see if I can't help you and possibly help some other people as well. Okay. Brittany said, is the link to your group going to show in your channel? I'd love to show up. It should already be in the description. It's called I Heart Love Academy. Don't get confused. I have an I Heart Love Academy on Facebook, but this I Heart Love Academy is my private coaching community. It is off social media. It is totally private. So it's where you get one-on-one support and coaching with me. When I was going through the discovery of my feminine energy and understanding the difference between feminine and masculine and why I kept pursuing my guy and why I kept kind of pushing men away and then they'd come towards me and I'd be angry at them and I didn't know how to receive. It was like the cycle I was in. And when I really developed my lean back and let philosophy, I realized instead of every conversation or incident happening where my emotions immediately responded, and again, I went into that fight or flight, I was able to lean back even with myself and let something unfold. I wasn't filling up the space with language. And that allowed me to listen more and develop a much more deeper understanding over time of not only what I was feeling, but that it takes a little bit longer for men to share their thoughts. So you really do encourage openness with your partner when you can lean back and let it unfold. I'm going to see if I've gotten a question here again. Okay, here he said. Crystal said, yes, my soul feels at home with him. We snuggle and actually get along and have fun together doing a lot of things. She's going to send the rest of that, but she said she's able to be herself with him. So let's go back to lean back and let it unfold. Another element of this is just trusting that process, that whatever's happening, whether we're snuggling on the couch, we're going to have a meal together, we're not over investing ourselves on a specific outcome or specific plans happening. You're really letting that man lead as much as possible. You can always speak up, express a boundary like, no, I don't want to go to that restaurant. I got food poisoning there. You can say something like that, but you really let your partner lead and make ideas. And this grows, this builds. At first, your guy may not be as spontaneous, creative, or imaginative about how to cultivate a relationship. But this is where you can lead by example and accept his suggestions instead of insisting that you know the answer, that you are the one that can fix this. You can be open to fixing it. You can always use this script. I really want to work this out. What do you think we can do? And in my lean back and let it unfold philosophy, a big thing I want you all to keep in the front of your minds is that you must be present. So in addition to trusting the process and unzipping and having that emotional availability, not having that urgency that makes you go into fight or flight where you cannot think clearly, when you're present with your partner and you feel connection, I can assure you, you're not in fight or flight. You're not in any sort of urgency. If you feel connection and calm with your partner, again, you're not in urgency, you're connected. So as much as you can, see if you can't breathe and allow yourself to be fully present with your partner. Even if they say something like, I don't think I can see you next weekend. It might really trigger you like, oh God, is there another girl? Is he breaking up with me? What's happening? And you can breathe for a moment or two, stay fully present. And instead of going into the future or outcomes, you can let him know how it feels like, oh, I'll really, okay, you're leaning back. If you can't be with me this weekend, then I'll make other plans for myself as well. And then you drop it and you're letting it unfold. So you can begin to kind of sense the magic in that and how this can create ease and balance in your relationship. Okay. So Crystal didn't get back to me more about what her problems or issues are with him. I don't know if I'm missing it. But again, some of this can be really nuanced with why we're not feeling connected with our partners, why we're not getting what we want. And a big one is, are we on the same page with what we want and desire in a relationship? So often the man is moving at a different time or pace than the woman is. And that's where walking away becomes a really important part of this. So if you guys don't have any more questions, I'm going to let you all go. And keep in mind, I have my very popular blog post, Why Walking Away Works. There's about 3 of them now. I recommend reading every one of them. All of you should have the ABCs to get him back. I teach you about quantum dating. I teach you the importance of the words you say to a man, how to listen, how to really get him so you can build that connection that you want. And I teach you a lot about leaning back and the power of letting things unfold instead of pursuing a specific outcome. All right, everyone. I hope this has been helpful. Stick around for these upcoming videos. They're going to be showing up here, and learn more about how to express your feelings in an authentic, feminine way. And again, go deeper into what I ask all my coaching clients, which is Is this your dream guy? It is the greatest way to get clarity and change up your feminine energy vibe. All right, ladies, lots of love. And until next time, bye.